Welcome in, everyone. We are here for the second post-game edition of Flight Talk with Connor. I am your host, Connor Long of JetsXFactor.com. Make sure you smash that like button. You are subscribed. Make sure you are subscribed to JetsXFactor.com. Use discount code 80 at checkout, and wow. The Jets get it done, their first win of the 2024 regular season, but it was far from pretty. Jets come out on top 24-17. Like I said, though, far from pretty. We saw a few delay of game calls, which is that's mental stuff the Jets just need to clean up there. Along with, we did see some injuries there, and Jermaine Johnson's now being reported that it was an Achilles injury. You got to hope for nothing but the best. You look, and definitely don't need another injury in the pass rush. Not necessarily injury, but Hassan Reddick, another week, another game without Reddick. Jermaine Johnson now dealing with this Achilles injury is definitely not what you want to see. But overall, in terms of what I saw, the Jets got off to a slow start. The Jets really did get off to a slow start. Went down 7-0 in the first quarter. Then they were still down at halftime, which was not ideal. However, they picked it up as the game went on. Ended up sealing the deal. They get themselves in the win column. That's really all that matters. Really all that matters, however. That's not great news with the injuries, and I would be lying if I said I was really pleased with the way the team played overall. You're playing a team like the Titans, blew a 17-point lead to the Chicago Bears during week 1. You look, they have second-year quarterback Will Levis. He's clearly shown he gets flustered under pressure. I think Jet fans, along with myself, were expecting a lot more than just a touchdown. Just a win by just a touchdown. I think fans were expecting more of a thrilling game, the Jets to blow them out of the waters. That really did not happen. It came down to really that last play when he dropped that ball. The main issue for me right now is the tackling. The Jets had so many pressures on Levis. He was just able to evade pressure. I mean, we even saw it on that final drive by the Titans where they were unable to tie the game up. He was just evading pressure. The Jets were pressuring him, just couldn't get him down on the ground. Same with the wide receiver play. I thought the secondary, especially Sauce Gardner, definitely not a great game out of Sauce. Not what you want to see whatsoever. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that replay, but he was absolutely holding DeAndre Hopkins' play where it was an incompletion. To be completely honest, the Titans should have had first and goal at the 1-yard line at that point. And, the delay game, like I mentioned, is also another concern. We had several of those. I don't know what's up with that. I think Rodgers called a lot of audibles today. I think that might have something to do with Hackett's play calling. It's going to be interesting. Once Saleh speaks, I'll pull up some clips. It's going to be interesting to see what Saleh has to say about that, the overall team's performance, and also provide some updates on these injuries. CJ Mosley, he had a toe injury. We did not see him come back into the game. So just, this defense that already from the first half of this game, the full week 1, it was has been average, so it definitely doesn't help that you have these guys getting injured, along with the fact Hassan Reddick is still not there. So it's not a great sign. But someone who did step up in the Jets pass rush today is none other than second-year defensive end Will McDonald, coming in with 3 sacks. Three sacks out of Will McDonald. He had 3 all of last season. He matched his total he had his 3 total sacks throughout the regular season last year. He had 3 today, 3 tackles for loss, along with 3 quarterback hits. Absolute great game out of McDonald, and that is what fans want to see. Obviously, eyebrows were risen once the Jets selected McDonald in the first round. Didn't live up to expectations last year, but this is the year, hopefully. He's going to see increased opportunities these next few weeks. The Reddick thing, what's going to happen there? The Jets going to pay him. That's another storyline. But Will McDonald, I definitely think he's earned himself more playing time just from what he showed in that game. I mean, 3 sacks. 3 sacks is what he had at all of last season. He stepped up. The Jets needed someone to step up in the pass rush if they wanted to win that game. They just wanted to sneak past the Titans like they did. They needed someone to step up in the pass rush, and Will McDonald did just that for the New York Jets. Great performance out of him. We saw Brendan Eccles come up with an interception. Again, another guy who stepped into an increased role. DJ Reed, questionable. He was a game-time decision. Ended up being ruled inactive for today's contest, so Brendan Eccles steps up, records an interception. I thought the defense definitely, like I said, got off to a rough start. Not ideal from Sauce Gardner. They're depleted with these injuries, but still, the run defense was better than last week for sure, but still not ideal. Tony Pollard, 17 carries, 61 yards. Will Levis, 4 carries, 38 yards. And Tajay Spears, 6 carries for 20 yards. The Jets also allowed a rushing touchdown, but it wasn't from any of the running backs, quite frankly. It was from Calvin Ridley, kind of a jet sweep end around action. They get him in the end zone. I'm going to say it again. I said it last week, but this John Franklin Myers loss, it showed a lot during week 1. Didn't show as much today, but it's definitely going to hurt them down the road. I mean, you can't have we got to a point today. The interior was so bad where we had Michael Clemens and Jalen Holmes playing next to each other. Michael Clemens and Jalen Holmes playing next to each other. Definitely not ideal. Not ideal scenario there. So I think the interior defensive line, especially in the run stuffing aspect of the game, is not great. I think this, like I said, John Franklin Myers' loss is going to kill the Jets. Kill the Jets as the season goes on. We also saw a sack, though, from Solomon Thomas. I've been high on Solomon Thomas. He had 6.5 sacks last year. A lot of people have hated on Thomas. I'm telling you, it's because he was selected at the 3rd overall pick. If you told me Solly was a 4th-round pick, I'd say, oh my God, this guy is very, very, very talented. It's just the weight he carries there with the 3rd overall pick obviously hasn't lived up to expectations. However, he did have a 6.5 sack season last year, and he got after quarterback recorded the sack today. So for, not excited. I didn't have 3 sacks out of Will McDonald on my bingo card for today's contest, but I definitely will take it. Let's say what's up to everyone in the chat. And also, if you'd like to call into the show, is the pinned comment in the chat. We would love to hear your guys' thoughts on today's game. Really, how do you feel? What do you expect out of this next stretch of games? I mean, this really started off an easier stretch. Now you have the Patriots, Broncos, Vikings, Bills, and it's kind of easy. It's an easier schedule, easy stretch of the schedule leading up all the way to that Texans game on Halloween, Thursday night football, of course, at MetLife Stadium. Let's see, we got Rich in here. My hands are sweaty. Oh God, yeah, that came down to the wire. That was a really, really close game. I mean, just that one play. They call Sauce Gardner for holding on DeAndre Hopkins there. The Titans have 1st and goal on the 1-yard line. Completely different game. Completely different game. This game could be in overtime right now if that happens. Possibly if they went for 2, they could have won the game. Completely different stance on the game. So, a lot of game-altering calls there. Let's see. Matthias. Jets win indeed, and you're completely correct. That was definitely nerve-wracking. All that matters, they got themselves in the win column. That is what matters. A win is a win. The injuries definitely do hurt. The play wasn't ideal, but they still came out with the win. That is what matters. They got themselves in the win column. Rich, the defense was garbage in the first half, but thankfully they settled in, and we have Rodgers. I'm going to start off with Rodgers' performance first. I thought he looked fine. He didn't look incredible to me. He went 18 for 30, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, Rodgers got off to a slow start. The Jets had 11 passing yards with 7 minutes to go in the first half, so it took him a little to get settled in. And then as for the defense looked horrendous. Absolutely horrendous in the first half, but they do pick it up. They're able to seal the deal, get themselves in the win column. Let's see. You got Dakota. Agent Zero indeed. 2 touchdowns out of Braylon Allen today. 7 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown. And then for the receiving game, 2 catches, 23 yards, and a touchdown. Him and Brees are going to be a great 1-2 punch this season. It's really the first full game, if you will, of the Jets utilizing Allen. He touched the ball 2 times in garbage time versus the 49ers. That's all we saw of him last week. Hey, they give him increased snaps today. He looked great. 2 touchdowns. Quite frankly, youngest player in NFL history to score an NFL touchdown. That is, it's crazy. 20 years old scoring NFL touchdowns. Absolutely insane. We've got a member of the channel here, Christian A. Let's go. Christian, we really do appreciate that you are a member of the channel. If anyone would like to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description. Let's go over to Jet X Factor's Robbie Sabo to tell you a little bit more about the membership.
Become a JetX member today for the very best in New York Jets all 22 film content, analytics, credentialed access, and much more. Plus, check out our all-new JetX YouTube membership option that features the very best in film breakdowns, live streaming priority, and a chance to meet Wayne Chrebet in the Underdog Jets podcast next meet and greet. Links are available below in the video description.
Like I said, Christian, we really do appreciate that you are a channel member, and you are completely right. Let's go. Again, wasn't ideal. They get the deal done, though. That's all that matters. Improved to 1-1 on the year. Now on a short week, travel back home for the home opener against the New England Patriots. Expect to win that game as well. Rich, yes, agreed, Connor. That will be so upsetting if JJ is out for the year. He looked great before the injury. Didn't have a great game at all during week 1. I thought he looked great in the start of this game before he got injured. It's, I'm wearing his jersey right now. I wore it for the game today. If he's out for the year, that is huge. Achilles injury is definitely not what you want to hear. Not a great sign from what we've seen so far, but you just got to hope for a glimmer of hope and that he is able to return. He is able to return. And we actually I'm going to pull it up right now. Speaking of that, we do have an update from Robert Saleh on Jermaine Johnson. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead, share my screen here so you can watch the video from what he really just said about JJ. Let's see. This is what Saleh had to say on Johnson's injury.
It's unfortunately looking like that, and we'll confirm it tomorrow, but it doesn't look good.
Wow. Definitely not what you want. Not what you want to hear whatsoever at all. That is a huge loss for the Jets pass rush, if that is indeed true. Now, who steps up? I know we saw McDonald, but I think this might give the Jets a little urge to go after and pay Hassan. I mean, you can't have. I don't think you can have someone like McDonald who's going to lead the Jets pass rush who's completely unproven. At least Jermaine Johnson, I was completely comfortable with him main face on this pass rush, but at least he's shown he is a Pro Bowl talent as he earned a Pro Bowl appearance last season. Now, who's next in line? I guess it's Will McDonald, but the Jets need to do something about this pass rush. They can't play out the year with Riddick and JJ. That's season killer. That's season killer for sure. Mike Knight, this is going to be a tough one. Yeah, a lot of fans were sleeping on the Titans. Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do because they blew a 17-point lead to the Chicago Bears during week 1, so I think a lot of it had to do with that. However, they're a talented team. We saw Will Levis, yes, he might not have that crazy stat line, but he was able to evade pressure, get the ball to his wide receivers, obviously a top wide receiver trio in the league. 3,000-yard receivers in Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, and Tyler Boyd. Tough wide receiver core. It was a tough game, but the Jets ended up on top. I'm hearing there are some difficulties with Mike appears to be. Tell me, okay, let's see. We're going to try something here. We are going to do this. Check. Is my mic better or not? Let me know in the chat. We do appreciate all the support here following the Jets' 24-17 victory over the Tennessee Titans. Definitely was a tough one. Came down to the wire, and definitely not an ideal performance. I think a lot of fans wanted to blow the Titans out of the water. A lot of fans really wanted to blow the Titans out of the water. However, that did not happen as the Jets only came out top with 1 touchdown. A win is a win. That's what you got to say. Rich, the news already came. I don't know if you saw the clip, but yes, not great news. Saleh's saying it's not great news in terms of JJ's injury. Mike Reddick's phone's blowing up. Jets need to do something. They need to do something to get him in the building. Whatever it takes, they need to do something to get Hassan Reddick in the building, no matter what it is. The Jets need to do something to increase this pass rush. You got to hope this JJ injury is not what they think it is. It's not ideal, the reports that we've seen so far. They got to do something, though. They can't have Will McDonald leading the charge. Let's see. M. Sal, I've been a long-time Jet fan here. They look like an average team at best. I mean, it's only 2 weeks now of the season. They came out with a win. It's not like if they're 0-2 right now, it would be a completely different story. If they were 0-2 right now, it would be a completely different story. Come out with a win, one and done. I thought the young players played well overall, though, which is what you want to see. Sauce, definitely not ideal game out of Sauce, but Braylon. I thought Brees had a very, very solid game. Let's see, Brees went 14 carries, 62 yards. As for the receiving game, 7 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown. My thing with Brees is, that touchdown was absolutely beautiful. I'm happy they're utilizing Braylon Allen more because I think he showed why he deserves an increased role in this offense, and I'm happy they gave him that increased role. I think Brees and Braylon Allen have the chance to be one of the best 1-2 punches in all of football this season. Just from what we've seen after 2 weeks, these two, Thunder and Lightning, Tiki Barber and Brendan Jacobs, exactly like that. It's such a talented room there. Also, Isaiah Davis, who hasn't been utilized at all this season. I want to see something out of Isaiah Davis in these coming weeks. I really want to see what he could do. I could see Davis's role looking possibly like maybe the Jets. They're blowing someone out of the water. They just put Davis and Allen in, take Brees out of the game. I think that's the way they get Davis involved in this game plan. But we do have a caller on the line, so we're going to go to him. We have NY Jets FL. We have Ted joining the show. Ted, how you doing?
Hey Connor, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing
Let me
well. How
step
are you?
outside a second. I was actually eating a slice of pizza. It's the first chance I had to eat. I'm gonna make probably two unusual points.
Okay.
Thank God we won. Okay. When CJ Mosley went out, our defense got better because Jamie Sherwood went in,
Stepped up. Yep. He played great.
and so did Quincy Williams. Okay, we're two in the first half. We got gashed over the middle. CJ should be. I'm sorry, but CJ should be benched. He's done. So he's a liability. A lot of the Titans offense was crossing routes over the middle, and CJ is definitely a liability. Trying to think what my other
Liability.
point. Go
Wow.
ahead,
I mean,
sorry, sir.
I said liability. Wow. He's the. I understand where you're coming from because Sherwood, I thought, had a great game overall. He had that great pass breakup, and then he was great in coverage overall, but got after the quarterback a little. My thing about Mosley, though, is he's a leader of this team. I don't think they could ever bench him, especially after they just restructured his deal.
Yeah. Well, he should play. Then maybe he should be a rotational player. I don't know if they can do it, but they was so much better in the second half than the first half. It's obvious to anybody, unfortunately, who watches the team. I'm thrilled that they won. They got the running game going in the second half after they gave it up in the first half, which took a while. I mean, they should have went to the passing game earlier, but they got the running game going in the second half, which was good to see.
Yeah, I
To be
mean,
able to move.
yeah, and as for the offensive production, I like that they got Braylon Allen involved. We saw Mike Williams collect his first reception as a Jet in the red zone. Didn't see a ton out of Williams. I think they're going to ease him into the game plan kind of as the season goes on. When do you think Williams will be back to full strength, and when do you expect him at least to a fan standard?
Mike Williams, I'm not. I mean, week 5 or 6,
Okay.
and it's going to take a while for him to get going. You're going to see him, I guess, get eased into the offense a little bit. But Brees Hall, he was pretty much. I thought he might have been, but hurt because he was going through the line on first contact. He was going down, and I'm like, and he almost looked like he was slipping a few
Sorry,
times.
you
I'm
cut out
like,
there. Who'd you say?
I'm sorry, Brees Hall.
Yes.
A couple of times when he went through the line, he looked like he was slipping a lot, or just first contact, he wouldn't break the tackle. And I'm like, this doesn't look like
Yeah.
Brees. I'm not trying to be nitpicky, but he got it going in the second half. But in the first half, I guess the Titans were keen on the run. I was part of it too.
I mean, they have Jeffrey Simmons, one of the best defensive tackles in football. Also, Arnold, Landry. Landry, 58. Yeah. I'm blanking on his first name. It starts with an H. I don't know. Let's see. Harold Landry. I was saying Arnold Landry. I don't know what I was what I was thinking there, but he also had a great game. He was pressuring Rodgers along with getting after the run. It's the Titans, I think, were slept on a bit. What were your expectations overall for the game, and did they live up to expectations for yourself?
Titans, you mean?
The Jets, just the Jets' performance against what were your expectations for the Titans and the Jets, the matchup going into the game, and did the Jets live up to your expectations?
They find a way to win. That's a good thing. We struggled. I thought we would come out and not be so predictive. I thought
Yes.
we'd come out and spread the ball because everyone knew we were going to run the ball. And Hackett is so damn stubborn that he's going to keep running Brees. It's that first and second down. And I just once they went to the 2-back set, and they went to short passes and spread them out, that was by far the most effective. And obviously Braylon Allen is a weapon. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
the run and the pass.
Yeah,
a big
I mean,
weapon.
he had the receiving touchdown, and then the thing I like about him is he's a big back, he's a power back, but he's also kind of speedy at the same time. It's not like all he brings to the table is power. Like he still has some speed that he's able to use his elusiveness, cut to the outside, do things like that. What are your expectations for Allen moving forward? Do you think they continue to kind of use him in that dual threat role?
Absolutely, especially in short yardage. Why not have a 235-pound running coming at you? I mean, I don't know. The Titans look like in all honesty, I think the Titans defensive line wore down a little bit at the end. We kind of got a lot of the running game going in the second half. And our line has played better. I mean, there were holes to be had in the second half. There were holes to be
Mhm.
had in the second half. Herb Charles is a monster, though.
Oh
Herb
yeah,
Charles was ridiculous today.
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah.
go ahead.
I
Go
was I
ahead.
was just saying his ability to get down there and punt coverage as well when they rushed him to the punter and he blocked that punt. Now I see why the Jets rostered him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My other point was whoever brings up Huff again can shut the hell up at this point because McDonald had 3 sacks and two legit. I guess one was kind of an iffy sack, but now we can put the Huff stuff to bed. Okay. I mean, enough of whiffing on a top top 15 draft pick. The guy's probably going to have maybe double-digit sacks. At
Hmm.
least, yeah. I mean, he's gonna. I
I mean, he had
mean,
3
now,
today.
yeah. And JJ's out. Unfortunately, he looks like he's done for the year.
Yeah.
That's a big blow. But I just I was tired of I was really tired of hearing. JD screwed up. JD did this. Now we finally put that to bed already? Because I thought Huff was just a straight pass rusher and he wasn't worth the money anyway. So and that just proves it
Yeah.
today.
That said, you mentioned the Jermaine Johnson injury there. Now are you feeling even more pressure to ink Reddick to an extension to get him here?
No, no, not at all. Connor, what are you going to get, Connor? You're going to get a guy out of shape. You don't know how he's going to
Who's
play,
approaching 30 years old.
right? And you're going to sign him if you get him for 1 year. Yes, you get him for 1 year. If you think you're going to sign this guy for 2 or 3 years, he's got his money. He could pull a hamstring the first week. I mean, it's a risk now. It's
And
honestly a risk.
he's also hurting himself at the same time because I know I think Reddick's leverage is starting to decline each and every day just because no one is going to pay him the money he's looking for if he just decides to pull a Le'Veon Bell and sit out for the full season. Nobody is going to pay him the 25 to 20. He's asking to get paid close to. He's asked. Miles Garrett has an AAV of 25 million dollars a year, and he's asking for a minimum of $25 million a year. Nick Bosa is the highest paid edge rusher with the AAV of 30 or 31 million. He's asking to get put right up there with guys like Joey Bosa, TJ Watt, Miles Garrett. Are you willing to pay top price for someone like that?
It's silly. It's silly. And another thing too is funny. A caller on Jake's show, Neil, he was talking
Yes.
about how you know him. He was talking
Yes.
about how Reddick is as good as Aiden Hutchinson. I think Aiden Hutchinson had 4.5 sacks today against the
I
Bucks.
think
You could look it
it
up.
was 4.5 or 5.
Right.
Yeah, I did see that he had 3 in the first quarter. I do know that. He had a crazy it was I remember
Sure.
I flipped Red Zone on during commercial break and Scott Hansen said something along the lines of he's now just 2 sacks or something crazy like that away from the Lions single season sack record.
Yeah, it was 5.5.
Five and a
Set.
half. Oh my god, it's almost 6.
Yeah, it was 5.5. Set back in the year I graduated high school. I think it was 1983. Believe it or not, it's probably the year your dad was born. Probably. What year was your dad born?
Would you 1975 I believe it was.
Oh, okay. I graduated high school in '83.
Oh wow.
I'm 59, bro. I'm 59.
You look like
Anyway,
you're like 43.
oh, thanks, man. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Yeah, so it's a great win. We were almost down 10-0. Levis kind of screwed up with that wonderful play that he tried to do. I don't know if that was a pass or whatever that was.
Mhm.
That helped us out. It's a good win. And like I said when I started, you know, CJ is a liability in the middle. I mean, it's just once you got Quincy and Sherwood in there, the defense clicked. And then you had the pass rush go because there wasn't the liability. It wasn't the they couldn't run what they were running before, which was crossing routes, drag routes where a receiver would go out and go over the middle, and you see, it's Mosley huffing and puffing trying to catch him. And I
Yeah.
was, same as the 49ers.
Yeah,
I mean, in the passing game, not the running game. They kind of fixed that part.
it definitely didn't help Mosley's cause that Sherwood stepped into that increased role and played great, along with Quincy Williams that had a standard incredible performance. I mean, Quincy Williams is an all-pro level talent, and he just assured us of that during today's contest. But Ted, we really do appreciate the call. You got any final thoughts?
Yeah, Connor, thanks. Keep doing your thing. Good thing New England lost. Cowboys have came back to earth, and the 49ers lost also. So anything's
Yes.
possible. We play New England. It's a very 3 games in 11 days is rough, but it's our home opener. Let's build on this. Thanks,
Ted,
Connor.
of course, Ted, we appreciate the call. And yes, great to see the New England Patriots lost. They're kind of flustered now entering the home opener. I know they were on an all-time high after that Week 1 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. Both teams on a short week head to MetLife Stadium to play each other on Thursday Night Football. Definitely going to be an interesting matchup. Let's see. Miguel, ugly start. Titans mistakes kept us in the game. Jets offense started clicking in the second quarter. Defense looking thin after some injuries, but held tight in the end. Feels good to get the W. First off, yes, it's great to get ourselves in the win column. That's what this team needs. Sign of motivation now, the home opener. 500 entering the home opener is, 1-1 entering the home opener with the facing off against the tough 49ers team in Week 1 is a solid record. I would say, in terms of Titans' mistakes keeping us in the game, I completely agree. It would have been, Ted said it there, it would have been 10-0 to start the game if the Jets didn't force that fumble and recover it, drive down the field. I said before the game that if the Titans want to hang with the Jets, they're going to need to not give the Jets increased opportunities such as fumbling the ball, throwing interceptions, because this offense, when they were on the field, I thought they looked good. The Titans, what they did is they just kept giving the Jets chances, which is exactly what you can't do if you're an underdog in a matchup like that and you're trying to hang with an elite team like the Jets. Exactly what not to do. The defense is looking very thin. Expect DJ. I think DJ Reed will be back on Thursday. I don't know about CJ Mosley. That's an interesting one because it's a short week. And then as for Jermaine Johnson, it's definitely not great. We actually have a clip of Jermaine Johnson here talking about his injury. We're gonna pull it up on the screen. Let me see what I can do here. Is it gonna let me? Let's see. Share our screen. Boom. All right, here we go. So what Jermaine Johnson had to say when asked about the injury.
It ain't no damn way. But we still, I'm hoping for the best. We got to go, clarify and make sure. But yeah, man, it wasn't fun. But at the same time, I talked to my mom, my girl, my family on FaceTime when I got in, and they're just like, go look in the mirror, go look at your chest. I got a half faith tattoo, so I always pray to God before every game. I tell him to use me so I can serve others, and this just might be his way of me doing that. So it is what it is. It ain't cool, but he got the right one. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna help the guys out. I'm gonna stay in it, bro.
So overall, just from that, not a great update on the injury already. There's, just before he even said that already talk solid. Hey, it's not great. I think it might be a torn Achilles. Not a great update, but at least he's okay. He's able to address the media. He's fine. He's not in the hospital or anything. That is a good sign. Prayers up to JJ. Hope everything is okay with him. Let's keep him going with Chris Cortez. Woo! We got the bounce back W. Started off really rocky, but then the tides turned. Then I started to see some good stuff, but still some stuff to work on. But that'll always be there. I completely agree. It's only week 2 of the season. It's not like we're having this conversation in week 15 or week 16 where we're seeing these struggles and the Jets are only at 500. It's still week 2. That's what fans need to keep in mind. And they had the week 1 matchup against the very tough team. I know the performance wasn't promising, but still, it's a tough team. Now they go out again. Another not very pretty matchup, but they get the job done against the Tennessee Titans team that has struggled to maintain a lead throughout the first 2 games. got themselves in the win column. That is what matters. Interesting to see how the Jets utilize the rest of their receiving core and just weapons moving forward. Again, Rodgers expanded his horizon a bit today as he targeted more than just 3 players. Like, he literally targeted just 3 players during the Jets Week 1 matchup. Still, I want to see more out of guys such as Tyler Conklin, 1 reception, 10 yards. That's all he had. Mike Williams, they eased him in, but 1 reception for 19 yards on a great contested catch. I want to see the Jets use more of those guys. I want to see Mike Williams and Tyler Conklin. I want to see them become focal points of this offense because I really think that is the potential they have, and I really think they can live up to those expectations. That's what I want to see the Jets do moving forward. A few more things before we wrap. Last call, if you'd like to call into the show, it is the pinned comment in the chat. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel, NY Flight Jets Talk on YouTube, at NY Flight Jets on Twitter. You can find my writing work on, of course, jetsxfactor.com. We do appreciate all the support. Again, Super Chats memberships are greatly appreciated. And, coming here right after every game of the season, we'll be here, Flight Talk with Connor, for live post-game reaction. Let's see. We got Josh's sports report. Hey, Connor, Allen with such an increased role, and I love it. Was underutilized last week, takes a burden off of Hall and scored twice. Amazing game for the young guy. Great game out of Braylon Allen. See, I said it after last game. I know it was a little, only two times he touched the ball, but when they put the ball in his hands last week, he looked great. Now they finally utilize him. I said it when Ted was on the line. I like that Braylon Allen has that, he has the tendencies of a power back, yet is still able to use his speed. It's not like he's incredibly slow, and all he relies on is his power and the ability to bulldoze through those guys. It's kind of a balance of both, obviously leaning more towards the power back, but still he has some speed to evade defenders, which is a really great thing. Want to see a lot of Allen moving forward. I think this 1-2 punch is going to be really special. Another one from Josh. Also, I love the quick pass system. Great in-game play calling adjustment from Hackett to let Rodgers throw quickly. In terms of Hackett, I think Hackett, quite frankly, was one of the reasons the Jets had all those delayed game calls. I don't think Hackett's play calling was great today. I thought Rodgers did a good job of audibling at the line of scrimmage, yet able to still turn that. And what I think overall, I don't think Hackett's a great coordinator. I'd call it abysmal play calling, but then Rodgers is able to turn it in great audibles at the line of scrimmage and able to get the job done. That is what matters. Obviously, Rodgers possesses that veteran presence. He knows the game of football, and that's what's so great. He's able to look at the defenses, read the defenses at that, and make audibles at the line of scrimmage. Like I said, final call. If you would like to call into the show, it is the pinned comment in the chat. Super chats are greatly appreciated. You can find my work, jetsxfactor.com, at NY Flight Jets Talk on YouTube and Twitter. Make sure you are subscribed to jetsxfactor.com as well. Use discount code 80 at checkout. Let's go to JetX Factor's Robbie Sabo to tell you a little bit more about the membership.
Become a JetX member today for the very best in New York Jets all 22 film content, analytics, credentialed access, and much more. Plus, check out our all-new JetX YouTube membership option that features the very best in film breakdowns, live streaming priority, and a chance to meet Wayne Chrebet in the Underdog Jets podcast next meet and greet. Links are available below in the video description.
Thank you, everyone. We really do appreciate the support. That'll do it for me. Connor Long of Jets X Factor signing off. JTS Jets, Jets, Jets.